welcome to Slayerfest 98. I'm Ian Carlos Crawford, and today talking Heated Rivalry with me is my straight Buffy husband, animator, and host of another Buffy podcast,
Trevor Carlee,
co-founder of One More Turn Games, and one of my favorite former work husbands. Say your name.
My name is Lucas.
One of my favorite guys. We have worked together on and off for 20 years. We went to undergrad together. Introduce yourself.
Hi, what's up? I'm Jude Miller.
He is a voice actor. The reason I was on set in Community when they were filming, and one of my favorite work crushes at Barnes & Noble from back in the day.
Aww. Hi, I'm Americo Galli.
Hi, Americo. So you watched Heated Rivalry after me kind of like pestering you for a while to watch it. I forget. Tell me, you like watched it all like late, right? Like after the kids went to bed and stuff.
Yeah. I watched it in 2 nights. I had to wait till the kids were well asleep, and then I just watched it until like 2 a.m. each night.
All right. So what was your first impression of it, either before you started watching or maybe like when you just started? Like, what did you think of it going in?
I tried to temper my expectations because people were raving about it online, and I don't know, I was just like, nothing about it really sounded like, other than, it was a romantic story. I was just like, it's hockey, whatever. And then I tried to remember, I had the same feeling about Ted Lasso, where I was just like, I don't care about soccer. I'm not going to, who cares? And then I watched it. I was like, this is one of my favorite shows ever. Like, this is so good. And so I went into it like, okay, it might not be as great as everybody's saying, but it's probably still good, obviously. So let's just do that. That was how I went into it.
Okay.
So I kind of first got introduced to it via obviously the memes.
Yeah.
And obviously I like watching entertainment since I work in it. The hot new thing comes out, I have interest. I'm like, I'm going to check this out. And I've got HBO, so I might as well make use of the subscription. So that was kind of it. I dived in. I think there were maybe like 2 or 3 episodes at the time. So I binged it, and my first impression was just I actually really like the cinematography.
It's really good, right?
It's really good. I was kind of expecting, I don't want to say like that TV CW type stuff, but like I was like, oh, this is like professional. Like, okay. And I just enjoyed it from there.
Right, because it doesn't, and I don't mean this in a snobby way, but it doesn't look like a TV show, like the way it's filmed.
No.
It looks like it could be like a movie, right?
Exactly. So like normally when you get a lot of TV shows, you get kind of like, it's not necessarily like bad shots, but
right.
You just get kind of like the traditional static, like how they frame things, like, that like front shot, or like people talking. But there was a lot of stuff. I think it really popped when Shane was talking to the new like manager with his parents in the very first episode. I think it's like maybe like the second or third scene. And then just the way they have the framing, and then it cuts up to Ilya up on the rafter, like second level. I was like, oh, this is like really well shot. It's not just like,
yeah. I think your categories.
Yes.
Okay, so I was following along with the buzz and I intended to watch it. I just got busy this winter and was not able to keep up. It was great. Like it was the cinematography is great. The needle drop, all the acting is great. When you told me that they made season 1 on like a pretty minimal budget, I was very surprised.
Yeah.
We can talk more about this. They don't give out, to my knowledge, Emmys to intimacy coordinators, but I think the intimacy coordinator for this deserves a Lifetime Achievement Award for a sequel season of this show. I have more to say, but those were my initial impressions.
I kind of bullied you into finish it. You had started it before we talked, right?
That's true. Yeah, I think I had not yet gotten to the Hunter and cute smoothie barista sequence.
Okay.
That was where I had left off, and then I went back and I finished on your recommendation. Full disclosure, I stopped. I'm pretty sure that new Game of Thrones had started, and that then consumed my weekly, Sunday sit down watch.
What was your thoughts after you finished?
I really liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I loved it. In fact, the way in which I enjoyed it was in the full context of its place in the universe at this very moment?
Elaborate.
Okay, so it has this incredible offering of representation in mainstream media in a way that you do not get much at all for gay men. It gives you a really positive view of men and of men experiencing love, specifically the way that it's been so adopted by like women as a whole.
Yeah.
Speaks to the lack of the existence of anything like this in mainstream media. And I think also is really sad in the fact that it's giving you romance and love in a way that women feel comfortable with and safe with. And they accomplish that by completely removing women from the picture in a way that I found, sad and upsetting.
I mean,
it's great, but it sucks that's how it has to be.
They don't remove women, just like the women aren't the romance.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, why? And analyzing why do women love the romantasy genre in general? Why have women latched on to this gay romance story? It's because it's offering a comfortable with feminism take that includes men who love each other, but the only way that they've been able to accomplish that is by not having women as part of the romance.
Fair. I mean, that has been a thing for a while, like women who like only enjoy male on male romance stuff.
For sure. This is the safe way to get it.
Right. When did it start hitting for you?
It started, episode 3 is what hooked me. One was really well done and was really interesting, but I was like not seeing what was sparking people. I wasn't seeing the, oh my God, this is unmissable television. I did see that it was really good. Like the cinematography was really good, editing, pacing, acting, dialogue, everything was top notch, but nothing was just like, oh my God. And then episode 2 was really good and, it was drawing me in more. But episode 3, I was like, oh my God, this is such a deep cut because I don't know how many people watch the show, but episode 3 to me was very much like Dark Quiet Death in Mythic Quest, which is a show by Rob McElhenney about video game developers. And it's an episode, and obviously episode 3 ties into the whole story of Heated Rivalry, but when it comes on, it feels like its own world. Like you dip into this whole love story between Scott and Kip, and I was so hooked. Like I loved the other story, like I loved where that was going, but Scott and Kip, I was just like, this is so sweet and cute. I was like legit giddy watching it. I was like, this is so, I was in. I was like, I don't care what the rest of the story is. This has already sold me on this show being amazing. I was honestly pleasantly surprised when it tied into the overarching story. Like, because I watched it and I was like, oh, this is really sweet. And then I was also just like, oh, is the first 2 episodes was those guys, and then every episode's going to be like different relationships. And then I was like, well, that's really interesting too. I want to see all these different worlds explored. And then when obviously episode 4 goes back, I was like, oh, okay, that was just like a little detour. And then when it came back and like helped sync to the finale, I was like, oh my God, no wonder everybody's raving about this.
Right.
It's so masterfully handled. It's so good.
I mean, obviously I was really enjoying it straight off from the first episode. I think it really started to click. I'm going to be completely honest. I like Shane and Ilya. I really like, I wrote down the names because I'm awful, Scott and Kip.
Okay.
I actually was kind of just really into that part.
All right. It's funny because that's like the polarizing part. Like some people like really hate that episode. Like I think when it dropped, a lot of people didn't like it, so it was too much of a diversion. I like it because it still fits in the universe. It doesn't feel like, and it also like pays off, right? Like it pays off in episode 5. So even that made me like it even more retroactively that there is a payoff to it.
You've got that kind of parallel of their stories.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of people did not. That was like a lot of people's least favorite episode.
Okay. Interesting.
Like
I
our
didn't
coverage,
really pay much attention to that.
episode 3 is the least downloaded and least streamed.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It was not a slow burn at all for me. It was a great show, like right out of the gate. I think the tension between the two of them, obviously, is like incredible. I think it's like extremely fast paced. I think the not just in a single episode, but also like the overall arc of the show when they start to focus a little bit more on the Scott Hunter character. At first, that felt like a digression, but then I was like, oh, wow, this is really cool.
Is it the end of 2 when they have their like problematic encounter that ends with "we didn't even kiss"?
Yes. Yes.
That is the point of, okay, so they're doing like art at me right now.
Right.
I see what they're going for. That is an iconic, beautiful moment. That's a real heartbreaker, isn't it?
I am so glad that you mentioned that because I remember when the show was on, people were like, "Oh, but there's a scene when he like goes to text him, but he erases it. How are they going to do that in the show? We won't be able to see that." And they did it really well,
they
right?
did, yeah, they succeeded. They went for the Sherlock method from that old Stephen Moffat. I'm not sure if you're familiar.
The Benedict Cumberbatch one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was very text on screen to convey internal monologues.
And okay, I am glad because I'm pretty sure that is episode 2. I feel like a lot of people are like, "Oh, the first 2 episodes are just more like porny," but like I don't like they're sex heavy, but I don't know, right? I feel like it's still the plot's still there and it still like looks beautiful.
Yeah, I think we get like, okay, the first several graphic sex scenes show us what they show us, but that's in service of getting to the point of we didn't even kiss.
Yes.
Right? Because we're getting a very significant story relevant contrast between the 2 bits that has really impactful emotional impact. Impact.
That was beautiful. But no, I agree with you. And I feel like sometimes people don't understand that maybe. I try to stress media literacy in all my classes, but because I do feel like it is in service. It is part of the plot. Like it is important.
It is.
For that moment. And it also is important because then we see the feelings. We're like, we know that it's just sex at first. It's like, oh, these are 2 hot guys that think they're hot. Okay, that's fine. But then we can see it developing into more. And I think that's gratifying. I think that's like a well-told story. I don't know, right?
I agree. Yeah, I think it's not for me to say. It's possible that you could have reduced the gratuitous sex scenes. Like if you cut 2 of them, it would still work. I have no idea. But from a casual single watch through perspective, it did very much feel like I was getting narrative relevance out of them.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'm not fully acquainted with the voices that are forwarding that critique, but I powerfully disagree with it. So yeah, I think that there's so much. I think there's artistry to those scenes. Like it's not
Right.
just like wow. I'm gonna be like a little ineloquent, sorry, but like it's not just like wow, they're showing sex without showing like skillful, not showing junk, but like I just think the choreography on screen is to use maybe like a tableau vivant, right? It's like a moving like art. Also, I guess like maybe a headline for me, and part of the reason that I was ultimately glad that I watched this show during Pride Month, but I should have watched it when it initially aired, and anyone should always watch it if you haven't yet seen it, because it's a very good show. I always welcome art that spotlights queer experiences in a way that inadvertently or overtly pushes back on just heteronormative culture. Like how many like straight sex scenes like do we see all the time? Hi, sorry, cis het ally here, right? But like, I think if this were not queer sex, I don't haters are gonna hate, right? That's what happens. But if this were not queer sex, I would ask if that they felt the same way about it.
Right. Because like what Game of Thrones had sex all the time in it. Like,
oh my God. I think I might make that critique about that show.
That's what's crazy is because I saw before I watched it, I saw both sides of the people who are talking about it. I saw the people who were raving about it, saying it was one of the best shows ever, and then I saw people saying it's just porn. They're like, it's just porn. It's just hot porn. And then as I was watching, I was like, I guess if you just watched up to the first sex scene and then stopped, you could be like, oh, it's just hot people having sex. But then that you could say that about every piece of media that has sex. If you just stop after the sex scene, then sure, everything is porn. But like, that's not what this show is. If you watch this to the end and go, it's just porn, I think you watched it with your eyes and ears closed.
Right.
Like, that's crazy.
And Trevor, I'm so glad you said that, because I know some people are like, well, the first 2 episodes are, and I'm like, no, not even the sex is sure, but like there's so much more to the story.
It's so crazy.
Like right there from the start. You're right. If like you stop at the sex scene and then don't watch anymore, but like once I don't understand that critique at all.
It's also for people, because I feel like people are put off by the sex happening, like by it being such graphic, and I feel like this show can't exist without being in the bedroom with these people and seeing the way that because without that aspect, I feel like it doesn't have that vulnerability that you really need to understand who these people are as characters, especially in the time period that this is supposed to happen. Like over this course of 10 years or however long it is that it happens, like you have to understand where they are in our world. And you have to understand where they are, like internally, where they've been sexually. Like you have to experience that. Yeah. It's not, to me, it didn't feel like, let's do gratuitous sex. This is really cool. Like it all felt very pointed and very purposeful to the story.
Trevor, I love you so much, because I had that discussion with someone where I was like, it sounds stupid, but I do think the sex scenes also are important to the plot, because they are, right? Like,
they are very important to the plot. Yeah. I also love the consent aspect of it. Just to get it back to the episode 1, I was really, because from what I was seeing online between Ilya and Shane, it seemed very like, because obviously the name Heated Rivalry, and I was assuming it was just going to be very like, I don't know what the word is, but just very like butting heads and power dynamics.
Yeah.
And then in the first, I think it was the first episode where Ilya was just like wanted to have sex, but he also wanted Shane to be comfortable because it was going to be his first time. And like, I really loved the level of wanting consent from Ilya, which I wasn't expecting going into it. I thought Ilya was going to be like, am I saying his name right? That's right?
Yeah.
Ilya? Yeah. I was expecting it to be more like him kind of like taking ownership of this relationship, and to watch it from the beginning be more about like, I want to make sure you're comfortable, but also in a like fucking with each other way. It was really well handled. I thought that was a beautiful aspect of the show.
Yeah, I feel like they did the balance really well, where it wasn't like annoyingly just like, oh, we're gonna do this, is this okay? But like, he checked in, but we didn't like fully stop the like,
right, yeah,
the sexiness. We didn't have to like go like, wait, let's pause. It was like he would like make sure, because there were some people online that still thought he was like too mean and too like aggressive, but I thought it was like very clear that it was like, Shane liked this, Ilya knew Shane liked it, so we were good, right? Like,
right, yeah. I thought that was great. It was really, really masterfully handled. Like just the way it all kind of flowed naturally, and nothing felt uncomfortable in how anybody was receiving anything across the board.
I feel like you asked me like what got me. So it wasn't specifically that scene. It was the feeling of, all right. I've been exposed to gay men having sex. I've seen pornography, obviously. You also see a ton of portrayals of men loving each other and in like the boring stages of a relationship, like, honey, don't forget to pick up eggs at the store.
Right.
That is pervaded. That's around. But what I felt like I had not really seen, I don't want to say ever, I don't know. It felt like what this is giving me right now is the early stages of like courtship.
Yes.
And flirting and the like sussing out of like, are we on the same page about this? You know, I'm pretty sure I'm really into you. Do you feel the same? Like that was a really unique offering that I feel like I got from this.
I thought so
And
too.
that I was getting early.
Yes, I always liked that because it's like, I don't know who can't relate to that, right? When you're like
Yeah,
first starting,
absolutely.
and it's like, oh, but is this just sex, or like, do we like each other? Does this person like me? You know, I feel like anyone can relate to that.
Yeah. And then you get it again when they pivot to the Hunter story.
Yeah,
You get basically like a redo alternate universe take, but you're getting the same, for me, the same trajectory of we've just met and now, ooh, is this, maybe there's something is happening here? And I feel like I have basically never seen portrayed in a story for gay people before.
Yeah.
Gay men specifically.
What emotional responses did this show give you? I like that I put, when I have this like questions written out, it says if any, but I don't need to say that with you because
I want to say there's a good amount of it that I was like, the best description of my emotional response is kicking my feet giddy. Like it was just like, there was just like a yay kind of aspect to the whole show. And then there was a lot of moments. There were a lot of moments that I was just like sobbing because I was just like fully invested, especially near the second half of the show.
the second half, it's like a lot of like, oh, I'm crying. Oh, I'm crying
Yeah.
again. It's something, another thing to cry at.
Yeah. So it's like a lot of bouncing back and forth between like crying and just happy, excited. The episode 3, I was just in bliss. I was like, this is heaven. I love all of this. Even the sad parts, I was just like, they're so cute. You can work it out, kids.
I appreciated the realism in episode 3 that like it did not work.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually it worked, but like that couldn't, because that's not sustainable, right? Like, I mean, not that I've been in a relationship with a famous closeted sports person, but like that doesn't feel sustainable, right? If like you only can like be in the apartment and you can't do anything outside, that would drive me nuts.
Yeah, that was, it's interesting because as it was happening, he was fine. Kip was just like, I love Kip so much, but it was so perfect. And then they did a really great job of making you feel like this is not sustainable. Like this can't happen as much as, but then they also do a really great thing to cite Ted Lasso again. They do what I love about Ted Lasso, where everybody's grown-ups and everybody's just really mature and they have conversations, and like it's never, I don't even think I recall a time where I was just like, oh my God, what are you talking about? Like, I mean, obviously you're frustrated with things happening, but like they have these conversations where they just put it out there. Like Elena talking to Scott and saying like, you're ruining this for you and him. Like this, neither of you are enjoying this, and him accepting, and everybody just being understanding, being sad, but like understanding the situation, I think is such a really great way to tell a story. Like you can have people be mature and not have to like manufacture drama.
Right, and it's still dramatic. It still hits an emotional beat.
Yeah. Obviously, the scene where Scott Hunter wins the cup and then, calls down his guy, that was an extremely like narratively dense scene, right? You're seeing that happen, and then you're watching Ilya and Shane watch it. See their reactions, and like Shane's in the room with his parents, and he's like, you see him stifle the reaction and walk into the other room to take the phone call, and Ilya's like, I'm coming to the that was powerful and chock full of just incredible acting, honestly.
I think anybody with a human heart is crying when Hunter overcomes his fear and shame to bring his beautiful barista boyfriend onto the ice.
Right.
That there's not a dry eye in the house for that, right?
Right. Lucas,
that was
the way I cried. I felt, I was like, I feel like I haven't cried this much since my mom died. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was really good. That was one of the, it's one thing to cry because, and forgive me for this, but because you're on your yearly Lord of the Rings watch. It's another because, you're like having a particularly rough week. Sometimes they get you with like a really big one. That felt like a really big one.
It did. Yeah.
That was heavy. That and We Didn't Even Kiss was another, oof, that was a real That went in deep.
It also hit me, I think, a powerful emotional beat when Ilya's back in Russia after his father's death. And the scene, two scenes, sorry, many scenes. In fact, the entire 6 episode season, but no, specifically, he's back in Russia after his father's death. The confrontation between him and his brother, where he's like, I'm setting up a trust for my niece. You're taking my apartment. Never speak to me again. But the scene where he speaking Russian to him, it was so good. And like Shane understood. He was just like, can you just like say it to me? And that will help you feel like he knew that he had to get it out, but he had to be guarded in a certain way.
Honestly, just you talking about it, I'm getting teared up. What were some of your favorite scenes?
Favorite scenes. There were quite a few. I really loved the opening montage of episode 3 between Kip and Scott, like just the coffee and the girl, and like the girl. Like I love that so much.
I don't know if you saw, I interviewed her. I was her first ever interview.
Oh, that's so fun. I
Right?
love that.
She was so nice.
I have to watch that. I loved obviously the ending of episode 5. I thought was just edge of my seat, standing up off the couch, like
which is crazy, right? Like,
yeah,
what were we on the edge of our seats about? But yes,
it was so good. And then the cell phone scene where their little feet were touching on the couch in episode 6, and they're just and the way the performance of him asking him not to marry Svetlana I was sobbing, like just that subtle, like the tears in his eyes, like don't do it, don't marry her. Oh, so good. And the scene with the parents was both like, it was everything. Like it was all the emotions. It was so tense, but it was also hysterical. The way Ilya was just like, we are lovers. And he's just like, please don't ever say that. Stop using that word. And then him going outside and talking to his mom and him saying like, I tried so hard, and her realizing like the look on her, the horror on her face and immediate comfort. That was the most I cried the whole show. Like that was just the most beautiful scene. Like everything, Ian, everything, all of the scenes are my favorite scene.
Trevor, I will say, any of my friends that are parents and loved the show as well, all of them have said that's like their favorite scene.
It's so good.
My friend Amy had been going through it and was texting me and was like, you didn't tell me there was a scene with the mom that made me weep. She was like, I thought 5 would be the hardest I cried, but then I saw that scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, yes. I agree with you. All those scenes you mentioned.
Oh, and the Russian. Sorry, speaking Russian is top notch, man.
I read the book, and it's funny because I cried reading the book. I listened to it, and it doesn't hit as hard in the book because he's just speaking Russian, so you don't know what he's saying.
Right.
And it's weird because like I knew what it was, and later he does say, "I said I love her." Like you learn somehow. I don't remember. But like, listen, just because I knew what he was saying from the show, I was like crying. Like, I know what he's saying in Russian. Oh God. That scene is so well executed, well shot. The like framing of him in the weird tunnel and like snow in the background. It is just like truly beautiful.
That's so good.
My favorite scenes. So my number one scene, which I'll be honest, made me cry, was when Shane's talking to his mother after they found out, and he's giving her the speech about like how he kind of feels like he disappointed her, and she kind of responds with how she feels like she failed him by making him think that like he doesn't feel safe to tell her.
Yeah. And
I was like, it was just a really good scene.
I don't think I've seen, I think it's one of the best coming out scenes I've seen in TV, because it was nice to be able to be like, oh yes, we're both like, he's acknowledging that he didn't trust her, and she's acknowledging, well, no, I hate that you felt you couldn't trust me. And I don't know, it was unlike any coming out scene I've ever like watched. It was really nice.
Yeah. I mean, I can't speak to that aspect, but as a parent, I can speak to that feeling of like, I want my child to like feel safe around me and be able to tell me if he feels things like that. So yeah, it really hit me there.
Yeah, I mean, and then that was like I thought the dynamic between a son and a mother was interesting because like I read a lot of that as like her realizing that up until that moment, she is the voice of we're forwarding your career,
Yeah.
this sponsorship, like this brand connection, like this thing with hockey or whatever, and I think she a lot is coming into focus for her very quickly that was in front of her, but she wasn't seeing. I was worried his parents were not going to be as supportive.
Yeah.
I'm curious to talk to you about this. I found it interesting that his parents were, and the way the scene played was like they just needed a minute to digest the like very
Yeah.
complicated information that they'd received.
Yeah, no, I thought they did a good job of like the show stresses you out a little bit because you're like, oh God, they're not going to be supportive. And then they are.
It's funny because every scene with his mom and his dad, I didn't know how to feel about them because they were so hyper focused on his career,
Yeah.
and they constantly talked about him being with a girlfriend. And I was like, do they know? And they're sussing it out. Are they not going to be accepting when they do find out? And why are they so obsessed with his career? Are they like overworking him? But they seemed concerned when he would stress out, when he would like flip out. They were like worried about him and not like you're doing a bad image for yourself. So like there was this really great performance from both of them, honestly. From I'm looking at their names now, from Christina Chang and Dylan Walsh. His dad it was another one too where I wasn't sure where that was going to go. I loved him in Superman and Lois because he did a great job of going from just like the curmudgeon old man to like fully accepting of a lot of things at the end of the series. And so I was just like, maybe that's where they're going with this. And then just the two of them in that final scene, I was like, oh, they kind of pulled this off perfectly because I was tense, but I didn't hate them.
Right,
I was basically, they put me in Shane's shoes because I was just like, the whole time I was like, I don't know what their response is going to be. And then when you get to I was just like, I think they just love me. This is so sweet, but also, sorry, I went on a tangent, but
no, and I
love everybody.
I love that earlier in that last episode when Ilya's kind of asking him more about his family, and he's like, "Oh, you don't think they'd be okay?" And Shane's kind of like, "Well, no, I don't think they." But and Ilya's like, "You should tell your parents you're gay without giving them a list of every man you fucked."
I also love the club scene.
The way that is shot is bananas, right? Like it's so good.
That's another one with cinematography. Yeah, it's so good.
It was really well done. It was like emotionally powerful, you know?
And yeah, it's like previously a silly, goofy, whatever song, but they made it work for like an emotional beat, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I was like, how are you doing this to me? How am I
right?
When Shane is with the actress and he and Rosanov are having they're like in the same club and This Is Not Enough is playing and they're both like with these other people and there's like a transitionary period where you're hearing the original This Is Not Enough and then it switches to this like downbeat male voice, much slower, much like darker sounding version of it. That was another heavy one for me.
I genuinely like, the meme where it's like, it's cinema. That's like how I feel about that scene.
Yeah, that was another of many. It's wall to wall bangers, isn't it?
And it's funny because when I first heard that, I thought they just slowed down the song, but it is a full.
Yes, I had the same moment of I think probably what they did is they started by slowing down and then it like faded into the alternate version.
Yeah, and like the guy who covered it, I think the song had gone from having like 200 downloads overnight to like 500,000 after it was
really
on the
for
show.
This cover,
Which is like kind of cool, right?
Yeah, for sure. I was thinking about the like tertiary character that's introduced there of the actress's friend. That was one bit of like, what happened to that guy? Was the thought that just effervesced for me.
People talk about that scene a lot because people don't like. I had this like discussion with some folks because they were like, well, but like if he's in the closet and he's supposed to be straight, why would the gay guy be dancing on him? And I was like, oh, you do not have the same straight friends I do, because like that didn't even cross my mind.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, my friend and his girlfriend are dancing, I'm gonna go dance with them. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
that's not
Yeah,
uncommon.
that vibe that the actress's friend is giving, where he's like dropping constant innuendos, where she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go see Shane," and he's like, "Ooh, wish it were me." This is an accusation. That's you.
Yes. So I want to talk about the side characters as well, because you're mentioning Rose, and I genuinely love the coming out scene where she's like trying to get him to come out and is very nice about it. So I'm curious, what did you think of that scene?
Okay. I liked it, and I understand and appreciate it for what it is. But I think it might be butting up against what I'm going to reckon as one of my chief criticisms of the whole experience, in that it felt a little saccharine to me. It felt a little too perfect in a way that was like, it felt good and nice and beautiful. Like, this is an idealistic portrayal of what breaking up with your gay boyfriend might look like. Like,
Yes.
she couldn't have done a better job of it. And I feel like because it was so perfect, it like took me out of it a little bit. It was like wish fulfillment more than it was a good story to me.
I can see that. Do you watch Yellow Jackets?
Yeah, of course.
So
Big
she's
fan.
from Yellow Jackets. She's Shauna,
Oh my God, she's young Shauna.
the devil
Wow.
herself. Yes.
I didn't see it until right now. You
When-
witnessed it live on camera of me reckoning that.
When she showed up the first time, I like clocked her right away, and I was like, fucking Shauna Shipman. Like, I like my like was like a cat hissing because I hate Shauna so much. But she is such a good actor. She's like great
Yeah.
in the role. And I kind of thought it was nice that she could also pull off like super, like you said, sweet saccharine,
Yeah.
kind of like nice
Kind.
girl. Yeah.
Thoughtful.
Yeah, you kind of expect that she might like
Right.
complicate things, but no, she's just totally like, oh, I get you. I'm
Yeah,
here for
oh.
you.
You're gay. Okay. We're friends. That's
Yeah.
okay. And I, again, that's something that I don't know that I've quite seen before. And I thought that was and we talked about this a lot, like when covering the show. I think if it were an American show, that probably would have been a whole season of him dating Rose and not liking her. And like, she would have walked in on him kissing Ilya or something.
So, where was it? Is it a Canadian original?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, part of me, while watching, because it's what, 6 episodes?
Yeah.
Part of me was thinking in like my brain of like how other people might have done it. How, yeah, you'd probably have like a whole season of like him struggling with this girl, and then maybe like some drama and more tension between the two of them when he thinks they're dating, and then all this. And I was like, no, it's pretty quick and like right to the point.
Because then I feel like when a show does that, then that character just becomes an anchor almost. Like, it's like, well, what are we doing? We're wasting time. The show Love Victor, the Love Simon spinoff, I only watched, I think, maybe the first 2, but I can specifically remember the first season. He's closeted and he's dating a girl, and he dates her until the final episode of that season. And it's like,
God.
why am I watching this? Like, we know he's gay. Like, sure, and that happens all the time.
Just
but like,
drag it on plot wise, though. Yeah,
like that's not an interesting plot. Because we would like go on their dates with them, and it's like, this feels like I'm wasting my time.
No, I understand where on a realistic scale it might happen, but
right,
narratively and entertainment wise, like, come on, bro, wasting my time.
Yeah, exactly. And I was really glad we like the Rose. He dates her for what, like one episode, and that's it. And then she's like, "Hey, you're gay." And I liked she did a good job with that girl too, because I thought, like, portraying Rose, because I thought that like she seemed very likable and genuine. Like, I don't know. There's a world in which her saying like, "Let's stay friends" could seem like bullshit, but I knew she meant it.
Yeah, you genuinely buy that she, even though they've been together for a little, I mean, I don't know exactly how long together. The show kind of jumps a little bit. You get that feeling that she is genuinely there for him.
Yeah.
And Rose blew me away because the chemistry between her and Shane in the first conversation, I was like, this is really great. I really love their back and forth, and this is super sweet. And then you can tell it's not working.
Right.
And when they do the scene, and she's so delicate with like letting him know she knows, and then also being like, and I legit, like, we're still friends.
Yes.
You better not fucking ghost me. Like, I'm gonna, and she's super famous, but she's just like, we're gonna talk, and like, I'm gonna be your bestie, and not in a like, I need a gay best friend.
Right,
like,
right.
I really care about you, and I want you to be happy. I thought
Like,
it was
I have enjoyed the
so
time we've
beautiful.
spent
Yeah,
together.
like,
Yeah. It felt like someone being very sensitive with the scene, but also, like you said, like this did feel like someone who cares about him. She clearly cared and was trying to like give him the out of, we are just close friends. That is perfectly fine, without being like, hey, gay. Like,
yeah.
100%. Like, I loved that she saw something about him and understood that he was not able to articulate that thing
Yeah.
about him, and then was able to, in a supportive and assertive way, get the information out of him that didn't shut the conversation down, but enhanced the friendship. And I was like, I know you're supposed to be like the biggest movie star in the world, it's fictional TV show, but can you be my fucking friend?
right.
That's the kind of person you want. Like,
I also really enjoyed Svetlana, who had a lot more nuance than most of the other side characters. She was much more fleshed out.
Yeah. And in the book, she's just like a blip. She's barely a
she's
character.
nothing?
Yeah.
Huh.
She kind of, I did laugh that it was similar to when she figures out that he's actually interested in a woman or a man, and it's not
Yeah.
a woman. I don't know if she ever figures out exactly who it was, but that she's also like really supportive.
Yeah, when she's like, I hope
It's
Jane
a
knows.
cute little parallel. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that on the podcast too. I feel like she knew, because there's that scene where she's like, don't you think Shane's hot? And it almost
Okay.
felt like she was like,
Yeah. Or maybe just secretly like wingmanning.
Yeah, I think I felt a little like I wanted some kind of resolution for her. Even when she's brought up near the end of like, maybe she would probably marry me for a visa, right? It kind of felt like we had invested enough in her to that point that it was a little like, well, what happened at the end?
yeah.
You got to tell me what happened. But that's kind of the conceit of the show, is that there are no, not that there are no side characters, but there's no, everything is super hyper focused around Shane and Ilya, so that the only B plot you get is the one-off side story for Hunter and Kip. And besides that, like, the reason that they did their fun experimental time skips is because we only care about when these two are together. And anytime they're not together, if they're not going to be in the same place for 6 months, we'll do a time skip.
Yeah.
And so they kind of like, by the structuring of the show, necessarily made it so that I care less about any of the side characters.
Yes.
They so front focused the two leads.
Yes. They wanted it to be that way. And I think they did a good job, but also I loved those characters, because aside from Rose and Hayden, the dude with all the babies, none of them are really fleshed out at all in the book. They're kind of just there.
Mm.
And I do think that's what made this so good, that Jacob Tierney had a story that had like bones in it. It was like the structure of it, but he like added more flesh to the bones. And it like, he had room to do that.
They did a really great job of not making the women seem like they're there just to prop up this gay story, this gay men story.
Mm-hmm.
They felt like fully fleshed out characters, and none of them were just like the stereotypical thing that you see a lot of the times with the female friend of a gay man on a TV show. Elena was ride or die. I love it, because at first I thought Svetlana was going to be
same, yes,
not necessarily a problem, but like when she came back, I was like, what's this? What is this? Where's this going to go?
Yeah.
And every time she had a scene, I just fell more and more in love with who she was as a person. I was just like, okay, you get whatever's happening.
I really liked the supporting cast in general. Like I mentioned with Kip, like I really enjoyed the little parallel story there. Even just the parents are cute. Like everything's just kind of like interesting. It's a nice.
And I mean, you mentioned Kip, but I really liked his friends, and they all felt like they stood out, even though it's like one episode. You like remember that like group, right?
Exactly. You could feel like you would almost have a show with the cast of characters.
Yes.
I think largely many of those characters serve a very similar role to Rose of what's the name of the woman who dances with Hunter?
Elena.
The Kip's friend. What is it?
Elena.
Elena. It's too perfect. It's like the best conceivable thing your friend could ever say or do.
So wait, I'm gonna give you a story. When don't worry, it's not gonna start out fun. When my mother was dying in the hospital, I called my ex because my mom loved him. We hadn't spoken in a while, and I was just like, "Hey, my mom's dying," and he was like, "Great, tell me, not great, but tell me where to go. I'll be there," and just came, and it was very nice. And when after he talked to my mom, I was like, "Hey, I'm really glad you're here. You know, my best friend Kim, who is a co-host on this podcast." I was like, Kim was happy I had someone. And he said, "No, I don't know about that, because she called me and said, you better not dip in and out of Ian's life like you always do, because his mother is dying and you can't just dip out after you go see him." And I was like, all right, well, can't be mad at that, because it was correct. So for me, it reminded me of that. That's like what I got from it.
Well, I'm really glad for you that you have such supportive and healthy friendships in your life. That's incredible.
I mean, Kim and I have been friends since 8th grade, so.
Yeah, that's a lot of points for Kim, for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, she's right.
Yeah, right?
Their whole relationship is just hidden in the shadows. Like he's afraid to go to the art gallery and stuff like that. He's skipping out on kind of all those publicly intimate moments with him. That I understand it,
right?
But like, that's not fair to him, who wants
not sustainable, right? That's just not.
Yeah. Just keeping that secret type of relationship. It's not good for your health either.
Yeah, right. Because when we talked about that, I also said that I wouldn't have been able to do, I would have had a nervous breakdown. Like a weekend, I'd be like, "We're not leaving the house. What is going on?" Like,
yeah. Also, just managing all those lies and
it's a lot.
Double lie. Yeah, no, fuck that. No, yeah, I didn't have issue with that scene. I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was like because I didn't think she was mean at all. I thought she was very kind with him while saying
it's like big sister vibe.
Yeah.
Like, I love this kid.
Yes.
Don't fucking ruin him. I want him to be happy.
And I can see that you are both miserable. You both care about each other, but are miserable. Yeah. And I love when she's like, "Eyes up here, handsome," when he goes to look over at Kip and she's like, "Nope, look at me. You're talking to me." That's I don't know. That's a lot of the ladies I'm always friends with, I feel like.
That was another, we processed that one kind of live as we were watching it, but that was another really powerful conversation. So, I think the dialogue and the writing as well, but the way that she was able to, because she didn't really know Scott. You know what I mean?
Right.
She's not he's a celebrity and she's a normal, right?
Yeah.
So the way that she was able to break down that wall in a way that was direct, clear, and not building tension, right? That's the kind of friend that you want.
When she went to talk to him, I was like, how are they going to handle this? Because as you mentioned before, on paper, that sounds like that you shouldn't be getting involved. But watching her watch them and watch her friend be depressed and go down this path of this is not sustainable, I was like, she's the only person who can wake them up to this. Yeah. And it's not from a place of, I want to hurt my friend or I want to push them away from each other. She's encouraging him, you need to either I understand where you're coming from, but you're killing him and it's not good for you either. Something needs to happen. And I love that he's accepting and he's not what the fuck, man? Your friend was just an asshole. It was beautiful. To me, dialogue wise, acting, all of it was top notch. It was so beautifully handled. And it also was so especially because this show takes place over, which perhaps people seem to forget, but it takes place over a long period of time. So it's not like him and Kip started dating and then the next week she's like, you need to back the fuck off. Like she let it stew and gave him time and he still was just not doing it. And it's understandable why he didn't.
Right.
And you feel that fear at the end of episode 5 when you feel the loneliness.
Yeah.
And you feel the fear, like when he's looking around and everybody's got their loved one, and you feel he does such a perfect, not to skip to another scene, but like he does such a perfect performance in that scene of like, I'm lonely and I want him, and this is my moment, and this is the thing that I was going for that I wanted to get before coming out anyway. So like it's now or not. Like his face is so perfect in all of that, and then she knows that that's what needs to happen. But she also knows he's not ready for it. So like, it's just I think it was so beautiful. I think she was perfect to deliver that message.
All right, Americo, my last question.
Okay.
Are you more an Ilya or a Shane?
I think the European in me is a little more Ilya. Sassy little badass boy. Part of my little soul resonates that when I was in my youth.
I always forget that you were born in Europe. I always forget that.
That British in me, love.
Yeah, you would be you would be the Ilya on the Shane in this dynamic.
Yeah, that's the way we put it.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I definitely enjoyed him. Not to say like I really like Shane. I think on like a narrative level, I find his story simple, not in a bad way, but it's just very, simple. Yeah. Ilya's I found more interesting. You've got his father, his whole mother suicide. It was just
like so heartbreaking.
Traumatized little boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like this maybe feels fairly obvious, but I personally feel like much more of a Shane. Ilya is like way more in a way that is incredible, but like confrontational. I think when we were watching it, you were like, God, he's such a dick. But,
yes, we are both more a Shane. Yes.
yeah. But you want an Ilya in your life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, I'm gonna say Shane.
We're both Shanes, Trevor.
Yeah. I'm very Shane coded. I also have. It's funny because I aspire to be very Kip. Like a lot of the ways Kip was, I was just like, I want to be as much as like he was seeking something and his life. I loved there was something neat about the way he carried himself and the way he like moved about the world. And I was just like, I would like to have that kind. He felt like he was in control of what he wanted to do, as much as there was turmoil and love and all that stuff. Just like in watching him do his job and all that, there was an element of Kip that I really liked. That I saw in myself, or that I saw that in what I wanted to be.
I don't know. I could see that for you. I mean, you definitely are more a Shane, but I could see a little bit of Kip because you're so sweet, Trevor. You're just like this nice guy that like it's fun to be with, and you're just like very nice and chill and nerdy. So I can see a little bit of that too.
Yeah,
but I feel like where we are both a Shane. I was thinking of like when they like get to the cabin and he's like keeps talking. He's like, how about this week we do this? How about blah, blah? And Ilya's like, I just want to have sex. Can we just have sex? Somehow that is both of us. Well, I need to talk about my feelings first before we do any of these other things.
Oh yeah, when he's like nobody since our last time. He's like, really, me? And he's like, really? And he's like, can we just come on, let's get this going.
He says like anything that'll get you to touch my dick.
Whatever. What do you say? Whatever will get you to suck my dick.
Yeah, something like that.
That's so good.
Because I do feel like, I mean, a little bit different for you, but I do feel like that is both of us like, wait, I need to get my emotions out and talk about this thing. Like before we move on to anything.
Yeah, let's figure this out.
You think you know the answer to this question?
I think I do.
Wow.
I've been able to correctly guess the other gentleman.
Okay. The way that my brain works this is not the kind of hypothetical that I'm good at answering. And I can only harp on irrelevant minutia to say first of all, they're two fictional characters.
Correct.
And also I'm like a living human man. So this is to say that I couldn't even play this game.
Great. I'll tell you what the answer is because I know
Please.
you. So you are a little bit in the middle, but leaning more Ilya, but you're still in the middle because you are in touch with your feelings. You are sensitive, but also you're sometimes a little bit of a dick, but in a charming way. And that's how Ilya is. So I feel like more Ilya, but only slightly more. You're still like,
okay. So you're calling it a spectrum, effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. What's yours?
Shane, give me a break.
You're 100% Shane?
Yeah.
I heard very recently somebody tell me that the author's intention is for Shane to read as an autistic person.
Yeah.
I'm an autistic person. I did not pick that up at all. And
I picked it up on my rewatch.
When it was offered to me in a similar way of this binary of like, hey, did you know that the author's intention was that one of those two leads was autistic? Which one do you think it was? I went for Ilya for the reason that I was justifying a lot of his like outbursts and difficult behavior I could see as being tied to his alternative brain style.
I could see that. For me, I tie it to his trauma, but I could see that.
Yeah.
Like way of,
I think Shane just reads as way too well regulated for me.
Yeah, but I know a lot of I feel like I know a lot of people on the spectrum that are very well, like they have their patterns. Their patterns have to be done the right way, the specific way, or like does not go well, or their head goes down on the table. Like Shane's does.
I guess maybe I wasn't reading his particular breakdown style. And I was expecting something more volatile or more outwardly presented.
One of my exes who was on the spectrum used to just like do what Shane does, where it's just like, just quiet, just like, okay, now I'm not talking. And like, that was the way he dealt with that. But also when I did a rewatch, I was like, oh, now I can see where it is, but also I'm relating to it too much.
Probably nothing to investigate further into then. I think maybe is there a head down on a table scene?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, maybe with different eyes.
He like quietly says, I'm having a panic attack while his head's like on the table.
Right.
And like when they get naked, he always folds his clothes up neatly and puts them in a nice little pile.
Yeah.
He has like very like ritualistic stuff that he does.
Okay, I accept.
As an actor,
yes,
I need to ask you, what did you think of? So Connor Story, who played Ilya, learned Russian in 2 weeks. What did you think of? Like, I thought it was so good.
I thought he was Russian to begin with.
Oh, really? Yeah, he's from Texas.
Yeah. I watched, I think it was SNL, and he was doing things. I was like, oh, he's not foreign.
Right?
Yeah. No, yeah, he did really good with that.
And I want your take on, as an actor, as a voice actor, when he's delivering the monologue in Russian, and he's like,
first, I love you.
Yeah. What did you think of that?
Yeah, it's really because he's kind of, you've got that like side shot where he's in like it's like a tunnel type thing with the lighting, beautiful cinematography. I thought it was really well acted. Honestly, the entire time I was just like, oh man, it'd be so funny if Shane knows Russian.
A lot of people said that. They're like, what if he secretly learned it?
Yeah, I know. You got this back and forth. You might have picked up a few words. But no, yeah, I really loved that scene. I thought it was cute, giving him that early vulnerability in a way that he could still hide it.
Yes.
Seeing the mask come off for the first time.
And you mentioned the cinematography is phenomenal in this show.
It's gorgeous. The show.
Right?
It's another one of those things where I was like, I can't imagine it being what everybody's saying it is. I was like, it's a show about hockey. Like, I'm sure it's a bunch of people playing hockey and they're talking about, relationships. Like, but I wasn't even coming at it like, oh, it's just going to be porn. It was just like, I was like, I can't, like, how is this great? And then as I watched, I was like, oh, this is great. This is all, like, out of 10 everywhere. Like,
The production value, the like broad quality look of it, incredible. Clearly a I don't know, if it were a game, you'd call it a AAA, right?
I also, it was done on like a small budget too, which is
Right. Yeah, no people in the stands for most of those
yeah.
rink scenes.
I forget. Do
And they're
you?
renewed for 2 seasons, is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So like presumably the next one has triple the budget,
Well, I actually,
considering how successful it was.
speaking of, I read this interview with him where he was like, people think I'm going to get a bigger budget, but what companies learn from that is, oh, you can just do it on a smaller budget. So
yeah,
they're not
sure.
going to do more money. And I
Sure.
hadn't thought about that aspect, but that kind of makes sense the way companies work.
Also, probably, you know, the kind of thing that you might say if you just did an incredible work of art that everybody loved and they were saying, so you're like the coolest guy ever. What do you think? You'd probably be modest about it and say stuff like that.
I do wonder about the actors because they probably didn't make a lot of money off the series.
Yeah, probably.
And now they're like
Those
wildly
two,
famous.
you're talking about the 2 leads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was both of their first ever major production, right?
Yep.
Imagine.
I can't wait to rewatch the show because there was also that element of like, is this gonna go in some fucking dark turn that I don't want to watch? And it didn't. And I was just like, I want to watch this like with that tension relieved and just have just the sexual tension and like the romance and everything. I just want to watch it with that.
Yes, I have rewatched a couple of times. It's like a nicer cry where you're not, there's no stress. You're just crying. Yeah, it's like, this is so nice. No, it's funny because our brains, I feel like, especially with gay stories, we're so used to there being like, I don't know, something awful, right? Like someone dies, something tragic happens, someone's not accepted, there's a hate crime. We're just so used to those things happening that like, yeah, I was like, is one of them gonna die? Like, I don't know why. Why would I think that? But I was like, is like Ilya gonna have a heart attack? Like, is one of them gonna die? Like, I just
whenever he would go out onto the ice too, I was also nervous about that, where I was just like, is it not going to be hate crime? Is like when he got knocked out, I was like, is he about to die in a fucking hospital? I'm going to be pissed if this is some tragic love story and then he just dies at the end about nothing. Like I was like, so right. So I'm so excited to watch and just like, everything's going to be fine. It's all going to be fine. Everybody's happy. We're all good.
Lucas, thank you for doing this. It was really nice talking with you and
Thank you
talking
for having
about
me.
My favorite gay horny hockey show. Let everyone know where they can find you and find your games.
Sure. I make board games. The company is One More Turn Games. I have here a prototype for Cola Wars, which is the next game that we're releasing. We do crowdfunding projects. So if you go to Kickstarter and search for Cola Wars, you will find the preview page for this game. It's really cool.
Americo, thank you for doing this.
That's my pleasure.
Tell everyone where they can find you.
You can find me on the internet, I guess. I don't know. I don't care about brand stuff and social media.
Asshole, you're an actor. You're an actor.
Yeah, and I get paid by people.
I mean, also, yes, you're here for me. Love hearing that.
It's Americo on like everything.
All right, Jude. Well, thanks for doing this.
Thanks so much for having me on. Love the podcast, and I love you more.
I love you too, dickhead. Let everyone know where they can find you online if you want to.
Oh gosh, I think maybe the most interesting place where I have occasional things to say is my Letterboxd, and I think it's at Jude Prefer an Astronaut or Jude Miller.
I know the astronaut one is your Instagram.
Yeah, I'm on there too.
All right, well, thanks for doing this. This was fun chatting with you about it. Let everyone know where they can find you.
You can find me on all of the things. I'm on all the social media platforms at Trevor Carlee. I animate stuff. I do Lego animations, and I also have a Buffy podcast, and that's about it. Oh, and I make Buffy art. Sorry.
A lot of art. Go follow Trevor. His stuff is fantastic.
Go follow me for art.
You have like 3 different styles you do too, which is like really cool. All right, well, we'll see you next time.
Thank
Bye.
you.